Hello, my fellow communists. Welcome back to my channel. Hi. So it's been a while. Okay. So today I came here to talk to you guys about what is the IWW. So, I've been promoting the IWW, and I wanted my audience to know what is the IWW. Alright. So today we're going to be talking about what is the IWW and the history of the IWW. So, let's get right into the video. So, let's see. So, the industrial workers of the world, the IWW, which are members which are commonly termed Wobblies, is an international labor union that was founded in 1905 in Chicago, Illinois, in the United States. The unions combine general unionism with industrial unionism, as is a general union subdivided between various industries which employ members of the philosophy and tactics of the IWW are described as revolutionary industrial unionism, with ties to both socialist and anarchist labor movements. That's the IWW. That's basically what it was known for. So, I'm going to go over the history and also tell you I'm also going to give you a little bit about it. So it was founded 115 years ago. It's that old. And the full name is Industrial Workers of the World. And its membership is almost up to 10,000 members. Journals, Industrial Worker. Key notable members, I'll tell you about them. Office location, Chicago, Illinois, and countries, it's international, and they have their website. So, let's read more. So, in the 1910s and the early 1920s, the IWW achieved many of their short-term goals, particularly in the American West, and cut across traditional guide union lines, organizing workers in various trades and industries. At their peak in August in 1917. The IWW membership was more than 150,000 people, with active wings in the United States, Canada, and Australia. The extremely high rate of IWW membership turnover during the era estimates at 133% per decade makes it difficult for historians to state the membership totals of any certainty, as workers tend to join the IWW in large numbers for relative short periods, etc. during labor strikes, periods of generalized economic distress. Due to severe factors, membership declined dramatically in the late 1910s and the 1920s. There were conflicts with other labor groups, especially the American Federation of Labor, AFL, which I do not like, which has regarded the IWW as too radical, while the IWW regards the AFL as too conservative in dividing the workers by craft. Membership also declined due to government crackdowns on radical anarchist and socialist groups during the first Red Scare after World War I. In Canada, the IWW was outlawed by the federal government. Probably the most decisive factor was the decline in IWW membership was the influence of the 1924 schism, in the organization of which the IWW never fully recovered, which the Industrial Workers Union divisions. So basically, the IWW experienced a number of divisions and splits during its early history. So the IWW promoted. So here's the concepts that they promoted. The IWW promotes that the concept of one big union that contends of all workers should be united under a social class to supplant capitalism, wage labor with industry democracy. They are known for the wobbly shop model, workplace and democracy. So they were the first real pushers of workplace and the democracy, which we have it in countries that are socially democratic, which is favorable to capitalism. So I recommend, if anybody's watching from abroad, vote for your communist or eco-socialist parties there. Vote for left-wing parties that align with socialism only. That's what you should do. Vote for them, help them win, and help bring your country into Marxism and Leninism so we could free this world of capitalism. Capitalism is the oppressive system. Okay, more into that later. More into something else. In which workers elected their managers, and other forms of grassroots democracy, self-management are implemented by the IWW, and membership does not require one work and represented a workplace, nor does it exclude membership in another labor union. In 2012, the IWW's general headquarters offices to moved its general headquarters and offices to 2036 West Monroe in Chicago. The origin of the nickname Wobblies is uncertain. Okay. So, we're going to go over the history from 1905 to 1950. Stay right here because it's going to be a long snack. It's going to be a snack. It's going to be a long video. So the first meeting of the plan of the IWW was held IWW in Chicago in 1904. 6 attendees: Clarence Smith, Thomas J. Haggerty of the American Labor Union, George Estes, W. L. Hall, and the United Brotherhood Railway employees, Isaac Hall, the U.S. branch of the Amalgamated Society of Engineers, William A. Trotman, and the United States Brewery Workmen, Eugene Debs, formerly of the American Railway Union, Charles O. Sherman of the United Metal Workers were involved but unable to attend the meeting. The IWW was officially founded in Chicago, Illinois in July of 1905. A convention was held of 200 socialist, anarchist, Marxist, primarily members of the Socialist Party of America and the Socialist Labor Party of America. A radical trade unionists from all over the United States, mainly the Western Federation of Miners, who strongly opposed policies of the American Labor Union, the AFL. The IWW was opposed to the AFL accepting of capitalism and its refusal to include unskilled workers in its craft unions. The convention was taking place in June 24th in 1905, referring to as the Industrial Congress or the Industrial Union Convention. Sorry, I had to take a break. It would later be known as the first annual convention of the IWW. It was later to be considered one of the most important events of the history of industrial unionism. The IWW was founded by William D. Haywood, James Connolly, Daniel Lee Dion, Eugene Debs, Thomas Haggerty, Lucy Parson, Mary Harris, Mother Jones, Frank Bone, I don't know how to pronounce all their names, so sorry if I butchered them, William Trotman, Vincent St. John, Ralph Chapman, and many others. The IWW aimed to promote worker solidarity in the revolution and struggle to overthrow the employing class. Its motto was, "In an injury is to one is an injury to all," which improved on the Knights of Labor's creed. An injury of one is a concern to all, which is also the most popular in the 1880s. In particular, the IWW was organized because of the belief among many unionists, socialists, anarchists, and Marxists and radicals. The AFL not only failed excessively to organize the U.S. working class, but it was causing separation rather than unity within groups of workers. By the organization according to the narrow craft principles, the Wobblies believed that all workers should be organized as a class, a philosophy which still reflects the preamble to the current IWW Constitution. So that's where you get some of it. But there's more. The working class the employing class. Sorry. The employing class had nothing in common. The working class and the employing class had nothing in common. There was no peace so long as hunger and their want found among millions of working people and a few who made up the employee class have all the good things in life. Between the two classes, a struggle must go until workers of the world organize as a class, take possession of the means of production, abolish the wage system, and live in harmony with the earth. We find the certain management of industries into fewer hands, making trade unions unable to cope with every growing power of the employee class, they say. So yeah, you can read more about their history if you want. So I'm going to talk about basically the government suppression. Alright. The IWW's efforts were met with unparalleled resistance from the federal, state, local governments in America, from companies, management of labor spies, from groups of citizens functioning as vigilantes. In 1914, Wobbly Joe, born as Joe L. I can't pronounce his last name, was accused of murder in Utah on what was regarded as flimsy evidence and was executed in 1915. On October 5 in 1916, Irvette, Washington, a group of deputized businessmen led by Sheriff Donald McRae attacked Wobblies in the steamer of Veronica, killing at least 5 Union members. 6 more were never accounted for. Probably they were lost by the Puget Sound. 2 members of the police force One regular officer and another deputized citizen in the National Guard Reserve were killed, probably by a friendly fire. At least 5 Irvet citizens were wounded. Many IWW members opposed the United States' participation in World War I. The organization passed a resolution against war at its convention in 1916, November. It echoed the view of expressing the IWW's founding convention that war represents the struggle among capitalists in which the rich become richer and the working poor all often die in the hands of other workers. So they stayed with their anti-war beliefs, which that is very admirable for them. Cause yeah, like what the fuck? No, like if they don't want to go to war, they don't want to go to war. So fuck off. Huh? But next. An IWW newspaper, the Industrial Worker, wrote just before the U.S. declaration of war, capitalist America, we will fight against you, not for you. There is no power in the world that can make the working class fight if they refuse. Yet, when they declared the declaration of war passed in the U.S. Congress in April 1917, the IWW General Secretary Treasurer Bill Haywood became determined that organization should adopt low-profile orders to avoid perceived threats to existence. Printing anti-war stickers was discontinued. Stockpiles of existing anti-war documents were put into storage. Anti-war propagation ceased as official Union policy. After much debate, the General Executive Board, which Haywood advocated for low profile, the GEPB member Frank Little Champion continued negation. Ralph Taman brokered with compromise agreement a statement that was issued denouncing the war, but the IWW members were advised to channel their opposition through the legal mechanisms of conscription. They were advised to register for the draft, marking these claims for exemption. IWW opposed war. Outspoken opponent was Lynch in Montana in August 1917, just 4 months after the war had been declared. And there's more I recommend you all read, where the IWW was even outlawed in Canada. They were made illegal. So in Australia, their unions frickin' suck. Alright. Let's see. Who are their greatest members? Notable members. Okay. So, here were their notable members. I'll give you all the names I could find. So, here I explained to you what the IWW is. Now let's get to the notable members, and then we'll get to another video. And that will conclude the video after I'm done with this. Okay. The members of the Industrial Workers Union of the World, which were the notable ones, Roger Nash Baldwin, ACLU founder Judy I can't pronounce that name. Labor and Environment Organizer Harry Bridges briefly later helped the ILWU. James P. Canyon, Lee J. Carter, Ralph Chaplin, Noam Chomsky, James Connolly, Carlos Cortez, Dorothy Day, a Catholic worker, Daniel D. Long, Eugene Debs, David Gallagher, his last name. Vincent R. Joseph Alter, Annie Feen, Betch Fettler, Ricardo Flores Magon, I don't pronounce that full name, Elizabeth Flynn, William Z. Foster, Otis Gibbs, Ardo Giovanni, Lala Hardy, an Indian nationalist, Big Bill Haywood, Howie Hawkins, that Howie Hawkins over here, yeah, Howie Hawkins, presidential candidate, Adam Hensley, Lisbon Hartford, Joe Hill, Harry Hoot, Mary Harris, Mutter Jones, Andy Irving, Rosa Kane, former member of the Scottish Parliament, Helen Keller, Jim Larkey, Carolyn Leckie, former member of the Scottish Parliament, Frank Little, Paul Maddock, Harry McConaughey, Kevin McCoy, Monty Miller, Tom Morello, Eugene O'Neill, Floyd B. Olson, Governor of Minnesota, Lucy Parson, Freddie Perlman, Faith Perklick, Utah Phillips, John Reed, Kenneth Roddick, I don't know how to pronounce that last name, Franklin and Rosemont, David Robix, Helensky Solomon, a Finnish is basically somebody from Finland, I think, folk music singer, Pete Segar, Gary Snyder, Jim Thompson, Dave Van Rock, Fritz Wolfman, former Lieutenant Governor of Colorado, David C. Coates, baseball legend Honus Wagner. Although it's unknown if became a member, it was long rumored but not yet proven that baseball legend Honus Wagner was also wobbly. Senator Joe McCarthy accused Edward R. Murrow of having been an IWW member, which Murrow denied. Some organization's most famous recent members, including Noam Chomsky, Tom Morello, Thomas Batmich Morello's fighter Jeff Monson, let me see, and late anthropologist David Rolf Glapper, I don't know how to pronounce that full name. But yeah, so they were known for a lot of things that happened. They were able to achieve long-term goals as well, and they fought for lots of workers' rights. They also fought for democratizing workplaces. So the IWW has not been famous, and we never learned about them that much, but we know members like Helen Keller, Noam Chomsky. Noam Chomsky is still a member till this day, I think. But I recommend you go join the IDW if you're a worker who watches me. So go join the IWW, and thanks for watching this video. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time, my fellow communists. Also, don't forget to check my Discord in the link down in the description, okay? Bye.